It is 7:03 p.m. and I call this meeting of the Elgin Independent School District to order. I'd like to announce that there is a quorum of the board present, that this meeting has been duly called and posted on the time and manner required by law.
I'm okay.
Next, we'll have the pledge of allegiance.
Good evening. I'd like to present Ms. Sarah Alleman, Assistant Principal at Neidig Elementary School, to introduce our kids to lead us in the pledge.
Good evening, Dr. Ritter, Mr. Mitchell, and board members. I am Sarah Alleman, Assistant Principal of Neidig Elementary School. Mr. Coronado sends his apologies that he could not be here tonight. His daughter just had a baby, so he is visiting with her. With me here today are some of our outstanding students and members of our student council to lead us in the pledge. And part of their leadership experience with being a part of student council, they will be introducing themselves to you tonight.
Good evening. My name is Samantha Tovar, and I am the historian of Neidig Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Lila Rangel, and I am treasurer of Neidig Elementary.
Good evening. I'm Joe Jackson, and I'm secretary for Neidig Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Emma Lopez, and I am the vice president of Neidig Elementary School.
Good evening. My name is Hunter Greer, and I am the student council president at Neidig Elementary. At NES, we strive to be the best. This year, the student council has been very present in our community events. We have participated in the Dia de los Muertos parade and recently have been in the Elgin Christmas parade. At NES, we make sure all students feel valued and welcome. We hope to finish our year strong. We would like to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday. Thank you very much for your time and safe travels home.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next item is public comment. There is none. We'll move to item C. We're being asked to approve the minutes of the November 17th, 2025 board workshop and regular meetings. Motion by Mrs. Waltershine.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Wilson. Questions? All in favor of said motion, please raise your hand. Closes. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Next item, recognitions. Rodriguez.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Superintendent Ritter, members of the board. My name is Al Rodriguez. I'm the Executive Director of Communications and Community Engagement. Before we begin our recognitions tonight, we have the special pleasure of hearing our NHS choir under the direction of Teresa Cromer. They're going to start our board meeting by singing some of the carols they shared with our district students on our tour of the district last week. So they've had some really good recent practice.
Never goes without a holly. Tis the season to be jolly. The leaves come straight in the bed. Oh, the ancient Christmas carol. Sing the wee people stride along and join the woman's love. Every mansion, while I sing of beauty's treasure, pass away, leaving old dear passes. And all the little lads and lasses. Laughing, laughing, all together. In the song of wind and weather.
And obviously, this is just a small ensemble from our Elgin High School choir for you tonight. So proud of how they're doing. They're small. Okay. How the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bring you good cheer to young and old. Big and the bold, ding dong ding dong, their song, triple ring, oh caroling. One sings to hear words of good cheer from everywhere. They bring me here. Oh, how they come away, they themselves over the temple, they return. And there may a lot of people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Even what they say, dawn without end, their traveled home to every home. Hark on the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, big and the bold. Ding dong, ding dong, that is their song. With joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they outrage the sound of the dance all the song. People sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. The one is at dawn without end. They joyful toll to every home. Hark out the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away.
Dawn without end, their joyful tone to every home.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Okay. This evening, we have three recognitions, can't talk. We'll begin tonight first with Coach Anderson. He'll be presenting our first recognition.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, and the school board. That was kind of fired up from the singing right now. We're not going to make Matthew sing, but you're going to come on up here on the stage. It's my pleasure tonight to recognize Matthew Cato, one of our seniors and two-time qualifier, regional qualifier for cross country. He's been our leading cross country runner for the last couple of years. Matthew exemplifies what we're looking for in a student athlete with great character, dedicated work ethic, and high academic performance. Matthew had a PR time in the 5K this season of 16:46, which is up there on your screen, which is a 5 minute and 24 second per mile pace in the 3.1 mile 5K. I don't ever know what 5K is, but it's 3.1 miles. He's also in the top 5% of his graduating class and is planning on studying business and running college. We are very, very proud of Mr. Matthew Cato.
I have the honor of standing in for Ms. Keller tonight. The fall 2025 marching season has been a historic one for the EHS drumline. Beginning with the Capital City Marching Contest, our drumline was awarded top 5 overall percussion. At the Lost Pines competition, they earned second place overall, just 3 points shy of first place. Finally, at the Lone Star Classic Drumline competition, regarded as the most prestigious and challenging drumline competition in Texas, our EHS students were awarded the Best Baseline Award. Please help us in congratulating a 2025 EHS drumline. Finally, we come to our One Town, One Dream Award. As you are aware, each month we're recognizing and honoring the EISD staff members who go above and beyond that embody the spirit of this award. We have 2 honorees tonight. First is Miss Morgan Louvier. Miss Louvier, if you'd like to join me up here. Anything the campus needs, she is there. Ms. Louvier supports in any way, in every way possible, whatever they ask. She works tirelessly to create positive experiences for all students at the campus. Ms. Louvier. Next, we have Ms. Lauren Rivetta, EMS Assistant Principal. Ms. Rivetta helped with a fill-in for Mr. Truehill while he was out. She runs the school social media and frequently posts videos and reels that gain much reach and interest. Finally, she puts together the weekly parent newsletter and positive communication that goes out directly to middle school's parent inboxes and phones. Congratulations, Ms. Rivetta. That concludes the recognitions for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, and all the recipients tonight. Outstanding job. Next item, we'll have the superintendent's report. Dr. Reed.
All right, thank you so much. Cannot say enough about how much it means to see our students here. We're so incredibly proud of our kids and all of our staff, the parents, everything it takes to have them be successful in the programs they're in and the opportunities they have. And just a little peek at that every board meeting. It's really very special for us to remember why we do the work we do day in, day out, and the things that our wonderful school board supports to be able to see that in action. And so thank y'all and to all of our administrators who are in the room for making those things happen, because we love seeing those kids here. All right, holiday happenings. We've had so much going on. Our holiday season kicked off with, and we didn't have a whole lot of time from the time we got back from Thanksgiving, and then we're going to be out this week. And so it's been fast and furious, something almost every single night. The lighted Christmas parade was amazing. We had so many students present who were there and participating in the lighted Christmas parade. Our EHS choir caroling tour, and that you got to hear tonight. And they went around to the campuses and were able to sing to even students on some of the younger campuses. And the kids were just in awe. They were like, oh my gosh. And then they recognized some of the kids were like, wait a minute, he plays football. Wait a minute, you know, she does this. And so they recognized kids from their community, from church, or just going to events and things at the high school. And to see that they're able to do so many different things is exciting and encouraging, and really opens the eyes of the younger students as they're getting ready for that season of choosing their activities for next school year, as we move into from elementary into intermediate and intermediate into middle school into high school. So it's great to see all of those kids. Our Christmas concert, Elgin Middle School, elementary Christmas concert. I know that we had the high school Christmas concert as well. I don't have a picture of that one. It looks like up there. The elementary Christmas concert for choir was amazing. I couldn't believe this new stage, which is beautiful, and we partner with the city for the use of that. And we had our fifth graders there, and we were almost, I think, filling it up. So that was really exciting and fun. And we had a great turnout from the community. And then the Christmas Carol theater production at the high school in our new auditorium was absolutely beautiful, which also our band Christmas concert was held as well in the new auditorium. So it's exciting to get into that new building and actually see it being used by our kids. And I know this, what a point of pride for our district. And so I encourage everyone to find some future event going on that you can go and see our kiddos performing in that new auditorium space. It is absolutely amazing. So beautiful work on everyone's part. Superintendent campus visits. I am going around visiting with campuses, visiting with the teachers, getting into classrooms and seeing the things that are happening, getting feedback from our staff as well. And these pictures were when I was at Elgin Intermediate School. And just really an opportunity to hear from staff and to hear things that they're proud of. I asked them, I want to know what they're sharing. I'm also following up with the feedback, little survey questionnaire to all of them afterwards. And we'll be asking them to share things that they're proud of that we can then highlight in our communications, things moving forward in the district, because we need to be telling our story. And I see lots of things when I'm out on campuses that we're very proud of. And so we want to tell that story and share the good news of things that are happening in Elgin ISD. So appreciate all of you for the help that you have done in making these happen as well. Capturing His Heart's calibration visit. We had our Misty Kilgore strategist here. She's up in that right-hand picture sitting with a group of students, and I was there. Rick Reyes was there, and this one happened to be at Elgin Intermediate School. And the students, I'll say, anywhere you go in the district, and I think maybe as the board members are on campuses, if they're able to go to classrooms, and then we're going to be also planning on some classroom visits for our board members in the spring. One thing that you're going to see is when you visit classrooms in Elgin, you're going to be asked to sign social contracts. We have ambassadors in our classrooms who walk up and say, I want to show you our social contract. They're very proud of them. And these are the contracts that they developed together as class with their classmates about the things that they're that they hold dear to in their classroom. What are the behaviors that we want to see in our classrooms? And so it's all done on a positive thing, like being respectful, being safe, responsible, equal. You can read some of those things up there. And I always ask them, what is something your class does really, really well? And they always can answer and tell me. But something that they said, and also said when we had TEA here for a campus visit at BTW, they also said the same thing. So when we get visitors in, they are noting and commenting and saying classroom management as a whole across our district is better than they see anywhere else. That is a huge compliment to our principals and our staff who move this forward, but then also to our students as well. So thank you guys for all of your work with these calibration visits. And it's something that Mr. Reyes really supports across the district as well. And it's making a difference. We're seeing lots of great things from implementation and consistent follow-through. Elgin Education Foundation Grant Awards last Friday as well. It was so much fun. We got to go and deliver the good news from Elgin Education Foundation about teacher grants to our teachers. And Mr. Mitchell was there with us, and some of the Elgin Education Foundation board members and the cheerleaders, some of the cheerleaders were there. It was just a really fun, exciting, energetic time of highlighting these teachers and innovative learning experiences that they are bringing forward for our kids. So it was a really great day, and the students really got into it as well. All right, we want to highlight Elgin ISD welcomes Mr. David DeBrock as our Executive Director of Technology. I'm going to ask David to stand up. Welcome, we're so happy to have you. Yep. And David DeBrock is coming to us with over 20 years of experience as Director of Technology, and he most recently served in Bay City ISD, where he has worked since 2020. His wife, we are fortunate to have Natalie DeBrock teaching 4th grade English language arts at Harvest Ridge Elementary. And we had amazing, just such good information that was given to us prior to hiring both of you. And we're happy to have you and your family in Elgin. And thank you for being here. And you're already making a big difference. Of course, he's taking Brian Page's place in the district, and we celebrated Brian's retirement. And so now David is solo on his own, his first board meeting in this official capacity. So we're so happy to have you. So thank you.
Thank you.
And then looking ahead, don't forget we have winter sports going on. Basketball season is underway and lots of fun. Soccer, we also have soccer going on, and cold outside, but we're about to have some really nice weather. It'll be a great time to go out and see soccer. Christmas break from the 19th through the 4th of January. Professional learning, the teachers come back the 5th and 6th, and then we have students back on the 7th as the first day. And here's one of those opportunities that you get to go see in the auditorium, the musical preview starring our elementary students across the district on the 22nd, so mark your calendars. And we also have the Elgin Wildcat Invitational Powerlifting Meet, which I'm sure will also be highlighting some of our great facilities in the district as well. And that is a really great event where we have people come from all over the state to a powerlifting meet and get to highlight our kiddos who are in that event as well. So, all right, thank you so much. And here's our enrollment, 6232 as of now. And our first day we were at 5828. Ended the year last year, 5965. So we're still seeing those kids coming in. We're anticipating more coming after the break. but we're ready for them. So. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ritter. Next item is President's report. Several of us had visits to the campus. The ones that I remember, Mr. Baker, Mr. Barker, and Mr. Moss. Okay, I just want to make sure you know, look, but Mr. Moss is going to report on his visit.
I was able to go or been invited to BTW. It was very, very fun. We had breakfast and it was the kids, it was the student council. They were top-notch kids. I mean, I guess to be on student council, you have to be pretty good, but it was, they were the top-notch kids. And it was great to go down there and get to see and visit with some great kids. They were asking questions. It was funny. They did ask me, and I don't remember how it was put, but what's the worst part of being on the school board, I guess. But it wasn't asked just like that. But I told them, I said, the bad part is I can't fix everything. I want to fix everything, and I can't fix everything. And I said, kind of elaborated on that. And sure enough, later on, we were walking around and Mr. Mez had to take care of some other business. So it was me and the kids and one of the counselors, Ms. Ruiz. And they said something about the tetherball poles, but we don't have a tetherball. I said, y'all haven't got a tetherball? No, we don't have a tetherball. None of them do. I said, I'm going to get y'all some tetherballs. So sure enough, I left there. I was planning to go straight to Walmart to get some tetherball. And I called Mr. Mez. And she goes, oh, we have tetherball, but we've had so many kids get hit in the face. She was like, yeah, well, that's the reason there's not a tetherball. And I'm like, there is an example of how I can't fix everything. I wanted to fix it, but I couldn't. But she did say, she said, I tell you what, we'll talk to the coach and we're going to have certain days to where we'll put the tetherballs out there to where we can actually kind of monitor them and watch them. So maybe I got them kids a tetherball pole coming at least, maybe. But they were awesome kids. They were shocked and could not believe their school was in a movie. And so I did have to pull up a little bit of Varsity Blues. So if all the kids at BTW are wanting to watch Varsity Blues, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, maybe they can get the TV version or something. I don't know. But anyhow, it was very, very good.
Thank you. Well, I was invited to Nidec Elementary School, and so it was an enlightening experience as well. I jokingly said Mr. Reyes was my security detail. So we had a good time there, reading to the pre-K classes. I told them, make sure you get a book I can read. So they pretty much was click, clack, ho, ho, ho. I said, I can handle that. So we had a great time and was able to judge some of the science projects, which I dreaded that because that's difficult because you won't get everybody. High school, I said, well, at least I won't be here when they announce what I'm going to do, what I have to do, and they don't know. But it was a great time, and so I appreciate them having me there. And I know also you look forward to your respective visits to your campuses. So I'm also scheduled this week at the Elgin Middle Schools. He's talking big noise, so we'll see how it goes. We're excited about that. And so also, just for information purposes for the board, there was a request by Mr. Barker because he couldn't, to see if we could change the January meeting date because he won't be here. Dr. Reed and I talked a little bit about it, but we just wanted to share that with the board and give some information related to that. I mean, we know that's an important meeting because that's usually evaluation time. So I don't know if we could work something around that. I don't know, you're not going to talk further, but just kind of want you guys to be aware of that request. You might send it in your updates with. So just kind of go from there and see how that turns out. All right. Next up. For now, I mean, because it's kind of tired.
Yeah, well, so the other dates, in January, the January calendar. So when we set the dates, in June, so it's a student holiday still on the 5th when we come back from the holidays. The 12th is our board meeting date set for now. The 19th, the district is also closed. It's MLK Day. And then the 26th is the superintendent TASA conference, annual conference that my cabinet and I all attend. And I'm presenting on Saturday. I have equity board Sunday. I'm presenting on Monday and Tuesday. And it's in San Antonio this year. Might be easier if I were going back and forth and over in Austin, but it's in San Antonio, so I will be out of town. So those were the conflicts. January was just a really tight month with lots of things happening. 12th was the only meeting that we had, only meeting that we had to keep it on a Monday.
Well, I guess the 12th is it. I mean, we don't have any other choice.
We also have our workshop is our demographer who's coming to present. And that's been scheduled for 2 months. We would need to see if anybody's here available to get that report to y'all. That was we're gonna come and present the new demographer report as well.
Well, can you at least just maybe check?
You bet. Yeah, of course.
I mean, since I've stayed, and I know people's schedules are, I know how it goes, but I really would prefer that everybody is there. But so check that out. We'll see.
Yeah,
People just get.
I mean, it just seems like, you know, for one person, we're changing everybody else's schedule
I
for one
understand that.
person.
I'm just putting out that was his request, so I'm just share that. And certainly wants to be there. I'm sure there's sometimes we can't be there.
I'll check dates and put it in the weekly and have that to y'all this week before we're gone.
Thank you. Next item is the consent agenda. Being asked to approve the tax report refunds and adjustments for November 2025, approve financial statement and budget amendment list for November 2025, approve investment report for November 2025, approve the 2026-27 instructional calendar, approve the annual review of investment policy, approve annual review of purchasing cooperatives, approve local credential on Spanish 1 and 2, approve the 2026 non-business days for Public Information Act, and then finally approve staffing recommendation. That is the consent agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Reese, second by Mr. Moss to approve the consent agenda. Are there any questions? All in favor of said motion, please raise your hand. Any opposers? Motion passes 5-0. Next information item, number 1, intruder detection audit findings. Cornelia.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, and members of the board. My name is Bridget Cornelius, and I am the Assistant Superintendent of Student Services. The top priority of Elgin ISD and the state of Texas is keeping students and staff safe every day. The Texas Education Agency recently conducted an intruder detection audit at one or more of our campuses. The audits test whether a campus is accessible to an unauthorized individual. This audit seeks to help districts identify how campuses can improve student safety, such as ensuring exterior doors are locked and providing opportunities to create a safer learning environment for our students and staff. Elgin High School received findings this year. As a result of these findings, the district must submit a correction action plan. This plan will be reviewed in our next Safety and Security Committee meeting. Specific details of the audit were previously shared with the board through the weekly board updates on December 5th and December 12th. We do acknowledge that parents and community members are interested in the details of the audit results. However, it is in the best interest of the students and staff that we do not share the specific information with the broader public, as it could compromise important campus security information. Any questions?
be thorough, so thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll talk about priority 4. You just keep right on rolling.
Thank you. All right, so this evening, I will begin our update on priority 4 of the district's scorecard. Tonight, Mr. Reyes and I will provide an update on priority 4.3.1 and 4.3.2, which focuses on maintaining safe, secure, and educationally innovative facilities. Mr. Rainey Land will present updates on priority 4.2 later in the agenda. At this time, I will turn the presentation over to Mr. Reyes.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Superintendent Dr. Ritter, members of the board. My name is Rick Reyes. I'm the Executive Director of School Leadership and Campus Support. I'm here tonight to update you on our progress on priority 4.3.1, which focuses on developing and sustaining a preventative maintenance plan for our facilities. As you know, I am somewhat new to the M&O department, but I am enjoying the challenges and the learning opportunities it has brought me. Alejandro Guerra, our Director of Maintenance and Operations, and I meet formally twice a week, but speak on a daily basis about all things maintenance. I'd like to publicly thank him for his patience with me here. When discussing preventative maintenance with Mr. Guerra, I've learned that before you can prevent maintenance issues, you first need to be in a position to predict maintenance issues. This is known as forecasted maintenance. Forecasted maintenance is the practice of analyzing historical data and trends to make an educated prediction of upcoming maintenance issues and expenses. These issues can range anywhere from lawn care, small engine oil changes, all the way to HVAC replacements. In assessing this department, it's my opinion that we've done a really good job in keeping up with preventive maintenance in this district. But as you know, we are in fast growth. We now have a diverse array of buildings in our district, from the very old buildings to brand new buildings, each providing its own unique challenges, and we are only growing. Our past procedures in preventative maintenance are outdated, and this is something that Mr. Guerra has been working on even before I came on the Maintenance and Operation Department with the purchase of RevoTrack. RevoTrack was designed by school leaders for school districts. It revolutionizes the way we track and assess our maintenance systems. If I can offer an example of our current procedures, let's say a pencil sharpener breaks in a classroom. Now, I know that's an outdated example. Please just bear with me. If a pencil sharpener breaks, a teacher would then log onto our system, complete and submit a work order, and then it goes into our system with all the other work orders in the district. Every morning, Mr. Guerra or the designee goes into that system and manually assigns that work order to a maintenance employee and then assigns it a priority. Now, multiply this example by 5 or 10 as the average that we get a day. Then multiply that number by how many buildings we have in this district, not just campuses, buildings. You see what I'm getting at. We are quickly outgrowing our procedures. RevoTrack automates this entire process, assigning priority, a maintenance employee, and even communicating a timeline back to the staff member who submits this work order. But the reason I'm speaking about RevoTrack tonight is that it also tracks and analyzes historical data and maintenance trends and aids in our forecasted maintenance. We have started piloting RevoTrack with the maintenance building itself and the administration building, and plan to go district-wide shortly after the holiday break. Ultimately, using the data, RevoTrack will automatically submit planned work orders into our system across grounds, custodial, and general maintenance to ensure consistent upkeep, timely completion of tasks, and long-term preservation of district assets in Elgin ISD. Mr. Guerra has been working with the developers of RevoTrack from the ground up and is here to assist me with any questions you might have about RevoTrack or about the preventative maintenance. As a company or just with us? Any other questions? Well, thank you. I'll turn it over back to Bridget Cornelius.
Thank you, sir.
While you're transitioning, I do want to say I have gotten some amazing feedback about the work that you both are doing in the department, and it has helped to streamline the needs the campus principals certainly appreciate, since Mr. Reyes also supervises the campus principals. This is why we shifted the department under him, because he is able to immediately see and hear about things happening on campuses and is very responsive. So it's working very well and I appreciate it. Thank you both very much.
All right, now I'll transition to priority 4.3.2, which focuses on ensuring compliance with all state safety and security requirements. So this priority reflects our responsibility not only to meet statutory mandates, but also to consistently demonstrate strong systems, documentation, and follow-through that protect students, staff, and visitors. Over the course of this year, the district has completed several district-wide compliance efforts. These include strengthening door check protocols, aligned with intruder detection audit expectations, completing all required aspects of the emergency operations plans, drills, and documenting compliance in the Sentinel system. We also, as I mentioned, updated our emergency operations plan to align with Texas School Safety Center guidance and House Bill 3 requirements, conducted staff training on locked door procedures, behavior threat assessment documentation, and emergency response, and submitted all mandatory reports to the Texas Education Agency. At the campus level, audits are being conducted across all required sites, and all corrective actions for identified findings have been completed within TEA mandated timelines. Where hardware issues were identified, such as latches, closers, or hinges, these items were repaired or replaced. This helps with Mr. Reyes being in the capacity. Principals are quickly able to talk to Mr. Reyes about potential issues. We quickly get those adjusted and fixed so that we don't impede on safety. Our emergency operations plan serves as the district's guiding document for actions before, during, and after an incident. It clearly outlines roles and responsibilities for faculty, staff, students, and first responders, with the overarching goal of minimizing loss and ensuring coordinated efforts. The EOP addresses emergency management practices, roles and responsibilities, relationships and coordination with agencies, and general considerations for facilities and campuses. This year, the EOP was updated using the Texas School Safety Center scoring rubric. New annexes were added to align with House Bill 3 and Senate Bill 11. Contact trees and facility maps were updated, and the required EOP audit was completed and submitted. These updates are reviewed annually by the Safety and Security Committee, providing governance, oversight, and accountability. And I'm happy to report that our most recent EOP was just approved. Armed security officers. So as you know, House Bill 3 requires school districts to ensure at least one armed officer is present on each campus during regular school hours. The district currently meets this requirement through a contract with Texas Public Safety Investigations, TXPSI, which provides level 3 commissioned armed security officers across all campuses. In the spring, either March or April, the district will engage in a planned review of security services to ensure continued alignment with statutory requirements, district needs, and best practices for campus safety. Behavior threat assessment teams convene when a student's behavior, statements, or online activity indicate a possible risk to self or others. These teams meet within 24 to 48 hours of referral. These referrals and these teams get together to discuss student issues and what things need to be put in place to prevent an emergency. Team members include administrators, counselors, district security, mental health staff, and teachers. So again, the purpose of these teams is to evaluate the risk, develop safety and support plans, and ensure parent communication. District staff members are on call to join meetings at any time. Sentinel portal. I think you've heard me talk about the Sentinel portal before. It is a new TEA centralized system for collecting and managing all school safety and security data. It was created in response to House Bill 3 and Senate Bill 30. Through Sentinel, districts are required to report behavior threat assessments, intruder detection audits, district vulnerability assessments, and emergency management. So because all schools are required to report using this is really helpful when we think about behavior threat assessments. So in the event that we get a student who transfers into our district who had a behavior threat assessment conducted, we're able to see that information and most importantly, to determine what systems need to be in place so that student is supported and so that our campuses are safe. Facilities and security infrastructure upgrades and project completion. We have done a lot this year to ensure that our campuses are safe and secure. One of the things that you may have noticed across the district are the fencing. Thank you, Rainey, and your team for working on that to ensure that perimeter fencing is up to date. As you know, we've also installed cameras and access control points, our security vestibules, and Raptor visitor management upgrades. Again, those repaired exterior gates and improved perimeter monitoring helps not only keep our campus safe, but really to let the public know that this is the school, this is who belongs here, and we guide them to places that they need to go to enter the buildings if they want to come in. Evidence of increased compliance and quantifiable gains. I will say that each time we have had a finding from the intruder detection audits, there have been no repeated door-related findings. So each time an issue is identified, it's been corrected and it's not recurred. We do have 100 completion of required drills and reporting that we report in Raptor. Again, corrective actions completed for IDA findings are done within the mandated timelines. Our EOP audit scorings are higher and updates are done regularly and faster. And we've increased district documentation and Sentinel, ensuring not only audit readiness, but ensuring safety of our campuses. So those highlights and impact, we have safer learning environments. We feel safer. There's stronger prevention and readiness systems that we put in place. Our hope is that there's greater stakeholder confidence. We have had reduced audit findings due to proactive measures because several of our campuses this year have already gone through the intruder detection audits. And again, we're aligned with Texas safety mandates and accountability requirements. That is all that I have. Do you have any questions for me?
On our fencing, have we got all of our gate latches? Got all of that secured?
Rainey? I knew it was coming.
All of our pedestrian gates are installed. We've got 2 traffic gates at Booker T. Washington that are remaining. Their goal is to get those installed during the holiday break.
Are they lockable though? Or all of the locks put on our gates?
They do have locks on them, yes.
Thank you. Questions, comments?
Good job. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. And just every year, it's amazing to see such progress. And again, I'm going to say thank you to the campus administration because it's your work and your diligence, consistency, and attention. We have very safe campuses, and we're very appreciative of all of your efforts and to your team as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Continuing priority 4, Mr. Rainey, we talk about transparent, systematic, long-range facility planning and update of construction projects.
Good evening, President Mitchell, board members, Dr. Ritter. As the 2 folks here before me said, 4.2 and other priority 4s, the discussion of the night. My presentation will be a little bit more succinct as it's just on long-range facility planning. If y'all remember, we saw just a brief update on this over the past couple of months. This really relates to project planning for new facilities as we brought on Homestead facility for project consideration over the past couple of months. We put before you an amendment to our long-range facility plan. Over the past several years, TEA has made some changes to long-range facility plan requirements. So before we passed the 2021 bond, we had to evaluate across the district our long-range facility plan. So we did that in 2021. We're required to maintain an updated long-range facility plan no more than every 5 years. So as we look out to 2026, we'll need to reevaluate that for each of our facilities. So looking towards this, We've got four strategic actions there. Long-range facility plan, informed decisions related to expansion and improvement. That's an ongoing discussion that we have often as we look at demographic numbers and reports that come out. The one that we're just looking at, and you'll be seeing in January, those are numbers that we look at and forecast for our students. And we believe we're making progress there as we have to evaluate when those new facilities need to come online. We try to stay ahead of those numbers and stay ahead of that curve. In 4.2.2, reviewing that progress with executive cabinet monthly on those long-range facility projects. That's at least monthly. Monthly with cabinet and Dr. Ritter more often to evaluate what these long-range facility plans are. Those needs do change from time to time as programs change. For instance, the relocation of DAP to this campus from the high school as some programs maybe shrink or gain in population. Sometimes we reevaluate those. For example, Elgin Intermediate moving elementary populations to the broader elementary campuses. So now we've got new purposing for that campus. So those priorities can shift from time to time. So we continue having meetings with administration to discuss those. But again, I think we continue to make progress in that area. As we move on to 4.2.3, this covers quarterly or regular meetings for our bond committee and community. I've noted some progress here as opposed to significant progress. We missed our last quarterly meeting. This happened to conflict with a city meeting for permitting on another construction project. We do have that meeting rescheduled in January now, but our last quarterly meeting, we missed scheduling that one in the last quarter of 2025. We just, as you all know, with Thanksgiving and Christmas, other things got in the way, and we should have got that rescheduled. But nevertheless, we've got that one scheduled in 2025. But that's an important part of this ordeal, is making sure our bond oversight committee is aware of the projects that we have in front of us, making sure there's full transparency there. And then, of course, just as we're here tonight, 4.2.4 with monthly board reports to review progress in construction projects. We always want to put these projects in front of the board, and we fully realize that community review of these board meetings, whether it's live or streaming later on, is a good opportunity. We've received feedback, over the year, this fall semester even, from community members who reviewed these videos later on. So it's a good opportunity. These monthly reports are to just put this report of our progress on these projects out to the community and certainly to the board as well. So we believe there's progress here. And ultimately, the outcomes from these projects throughout 2027 will be reflected, and those are what we'd like to show here tonight. Any questions about 4.2 before I jump right into our projects? Staying with 2021 bond. This is, as we've mentioned before, one of the last major projects for the 21 bond as we look to wind down major funding from 2021. That transportation facility is really moving quickly. There's not a large building footprint on that site, a lot of paving and flat work. So you can see there in that largest photo, exterior sheathing is going up. The roof is on that building, so we're virtually dried in. On the left there, you can see interior framing and plumbing rough-in is being completed. Right now, grading and paving are being scheduled. Most of the bus parking lot is completed. What they're working on now is the smaller parking lot. What'll be the driver's parking lot for their personal vehicles, and the front visitor parking lot be some asphalt paving. They'll continue working inside to get the electrical and plumbing rough-in completed. They have got the electrical equipment coming. The electrical room has already got its drywall installed. So ultimately, on the site proper, not counting off-site work, our contractor is telling us really by spring break, they'll have most of this project wrapped up. And I'll note the two bottom bullets there. I've had those on there for a few months, but I'll keep those on there because I want to point out those are a couple of off-site challenges that we have somewhat limited control over. The expansion of FM 1100 and coordinating our wastewater connection with Triada to the west. Those are two things that will be required, at least as we sit here today, will be required for us to open and fully use this facility. So though we may have a building and a parking lot by, roughly spring break, if we don't have a permanent driveway permit from TxDOT, because of FM 1100 expansion is not complete and we don't have a wastewater connection with Triada, we will not be able to use the facility. So we're diligently working with all parties to accelerate both of those things, but some of those things are out of our control. So I just want to make everybody fully aware that on our side, construction is going very well, but coordination is always a challenge. Yes, ma'am. On their site, of course, it's a large subdivision. We're tying our wastewater into their underground wastewater system. That's been a coordination effort that we've been working through for some time. They've, for whatever reason, and it's not our connection or our business even, but they've had some challenges with Travis County. So they've had a stop work notice for a little while that has slowed down their infrastructure development. So they've had very limited construction going on their site for several weeks. I don't know the exact details of that. I haven't pried and asked, but they were forthcoming with us to tell us that they've had a stop work notice. They are working to get that resolved. But until that is resolved, we're going to be somewhat limited on getting our wastewater connection to that point. And we're not, ready to connect tomorrow, but by spring, we'll need to be there. And right now it's just a little bit of a holdup when they can't put in those wastewater lines for us to connect to. Yes, ma'am. Some of the smaller projects under the 21 bond, Niding High School flooring. During Thanksgiving break, our contractors made a really good push at Niding Elementary, getting a couple of the hallways completed. So that's one of the images you see there. They do have two shorter hallways remaining to be completed. I think they can easily take care of that during the remainder of the winter break, as well as just a small portion of the vestibule at the high school. Fiber optic upgrade. This is, I want to shout from the rooftops. This is all but finished. Our technology team, I was just talking to David DeBrock before the meeting. They're planning to make they'll call it the cutover. We'll switch to this permanent connection during the winter holidays. So this fiber has been completed, tied in, tested. We're ready to make the switch. So both Trinity Ranch and Booker T. Washington have always ran on just a wireless antenna connection. So they've never had redundancy. They've never had the speed of all the other campuses. Of course, Trinity Ranch obviously hasn't been open that long, but for Booker T. Washington, it's never had a hard line fiber connection. So this is monumental for that school, making it across 2 railroad crossings and all the way across town. This is huge. So really excited about that. And hopefully they've just got lightning speed when we get back in January. HVAC projects, Elgin and Niding Elementary sites are fully completed. We've got some commissioning and closeout scope remaining at BTW and Elgin Intermediate, but teams are still fully on board and addressing those things. Upcoming projects, replacements of playgrounds. BTW, Niding Elementary, and Elgin Elementary, so our 3 older elementary campuses. We're going to work to replace all the playground equipment there, new fall surfacing, new equipment. We'll work to get that solicitation in the papers and advertised in January. Hopefully a quick turnaround and get that back before the board in February is our target. And then that will be a summer project. Bleacher repairs at the old middle school stadium. That would be what we call the home side, the larger side. Roof repair, replacement at technology building. We'll start planning that in the spring and based on requests from technology, we'll make that a summer project just in case there's any issues with it. Niding, hand sink replacements. With any luck, we can get this project done during the winter break. So we think those sinks are coming in and we can get a good start on this during the winter break, and hopefully they can get them all knocked out. I know sinks are failing in those restrooms over there at a high rate, so we want to get those resolved. And then we're working on getting the contracts in place for P&E mechanical for Elgin Elementary and admin. This work is really slated for next summer, but we'll continue to work with them. There may be some opportunities where we can get them in the buildings in the spring semester, maybe spring break or some long weekends, just to do some preliminary work to get a little bit ahead. Moving to the 2024 bond, large project here. You all heard from DLR during our board workshop. Exciting project, really exciting for middle school number 2, or Legacy Oak Middle School. That top left picture, to give you some perspective, that's really over the building pad. There's a lot of work going on, and you're looking back to the east. That's in the foreground's the building pad, but in the back, that's the track and the athletic field in the very back. And then that bottom left in the foreground, that gray is the slab there, and the green, that's the vapor barrier. They're getting ready to pour the remaining areas of that slab on grade. They'll pour that in sections. And then the overall site view. You can see that winding road, that queuing space that they talked about in the earlier presentation. And then actually the road on the left, since this picture was taken, that road on the left has been poured. The concrete is in place there now. So again, it's, I can't, it's hard to keep up with those guys. I take pictures and I'll go out there a few days later and the site looks really different. So they're really busy out there. So a lot of the bullet points on the right look very similar to last month until they get done with that building slab and start going vertical. Some of these things look a little bit repetitive because they'll do them in sections. They'll get utilities underground, get those in, they'll pour that section and then move to the next one. But they'll continue pouring grain beams and footers, for example, get the vapor barrier and the rebar going. They're pouring piers for their lights along that winding road. There'll be a lot of lights there to make it very well lit as folks make that entry. But overall, it's an exciting site. It really changes the landscape out there. Any questions about that? Okay. Athletic improvements, switching over to the high school, coming back in town. I'll run you through the photos and the bullet points. Artificial turf and fencing materials. All this material is on site. On that top right, that's the baseball field, underground drainage. That's one of the benefits of having turf. We get a lot of rain, and then that evening or the next day, we can play ball. We don't have to worry about getting rained out near like we do with natural fields. So they're putting in the drainage there. And then in that bottom right photo, they're putting down the base material, getting ready to pour the post-tension slab. So they're getting that prepped. And they've already got in the back there, they're drilling piers for the light poles around the tennis courts. And those are actually in now, the piers are. So on the right, bullet points there, drainage and base work underway on the baseball field. Curbs are installed on the baseball field for the outfit fencing. Softball's just a little bit behind that. They're prepping the subgrade or drying that out. This week, we're hoping to get the tennis court slab poured. This new press boxes are scheduled this week for both baseball and softball. Site drainage around the outside of baseball. That water drains off the field and it's got to go somewhere. So they've got site drainage ongoing that'll be routed around the outside. And then again, all the materials on site. Now to the schedule, the bottom 2 bullet points there. How do we get where we're at? Soil injection. This soil out here, for those of you that have been involved with construction out here, this soil is not great. So soil injection took longer than expected. Our soil injection process took 2 and 3 rounds in some areas. So that took a little bit longer on the schedule. So what we're showing now is schedule completion, now showing late January for tennis courts. And our contractor tells us they can get baseball and softball completed roughly mid-January. So we've talked to Coach Anderson. We've talked to folks involved. We know that's going to impact some of our early activities on those fields, but we're still doing everything we can to work with our contractors to mobilize as many additional forces as they can and resources to pull this date in every chance they get with second shift, weekends, those types of things. So still, it's going to be a great project. It's just going to take a little bit longer than what we thought. CTE press box just behind there. You can see there on that exterior demo shot, those guys have really made an impact quickly. So the demolition did not take long, both inside and out. That building, it looked different quickly. Yeah, from just a few days to the next when we went up there, it was eye-opening. You can really see the difference there. It certainly already looks a little bit different today, but and then in the bottom, they've got a lot of scaffolding going up underneath and shoring, but they're fully mobilized, their job trailer on site, temporary utilities, all their construction fencing and safety fencing in place, working on concrete demolition in some certain areas. That elevator that they've used for a lot of that demo came in handy. That's going to be coming down soon. They're going to start laying out their piers next. That'll be holding up what will be a much larger press box. So they'll start drilling piers here very soon, and then coordinating for underground utilities all along that concession area. What would actually be that circulation path where we're used to walking for concessions and restrooms and that sort of thing. But overall, we're looking at a fall 2026 completion date. So they've got a lot of work between now and then, but they're making really good progress as you can see there in the photos. Homestead, last month, we awarded the first GMP. So that's allowed our general contractor to get started on long lead items. We do expect demolition to start as we come back in January. They've already been selecting some of their trade contractors, getting them under contract, getting insurance documents, those types of things. So we expect to have a quick start when we come back in January. We also expect to bring back GMP2, guaranteed maximum price number 2, to be brought back in January. That will be for the balance of the work, all of the finish out trades. We have continued to coordinate with Blue Bonnet Electric. We'll have to do a service upgrade to the electrical service on that building. Wasn't quite large enough for all the equipment in the facility. We did finalize permit review. Sent those last comments back to City of Elgin actually today. So we're expecting to have a building permit by the time they come back in January. But ultimately, the representative photos that you see here will be similar to what we end up with in a culinary lab, just a busy lab for students. And we're excited about this project, excited to get in here next August. And the DAP portables, this will be a blue ribbon finish line right here. We're going to move into these during the winter break. We got flooring replaced. We got revegetation. We sprayed hydromulch again. We replaced trees again. So ultimately, we're looking to get our certificate of occupancy. Technology is all wrapped up with technology and cameras. Furniture is scheduled to move in. We've talked to our administration, our staff, Dr. Rodman. Everybody's ready. So we're ready to put this project to bed. Questions?
Good job, man.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item, action item, being asked to approve the annual financial report for 2024-2025. Mr. Martin.
One second. Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, members of the board. I'm Clark Motley, Elgin ISD's Chief Financial Officer. Tonight, we're pleased to present to you the annual financial report for the 24-25 school year. This is a report of our annual financial audit, and tonight's report will be provided by our auditors, Patillo, Brown, and Hill. Their representative for this evening is Cameron Aaron, who has worked with the district through the audit process. And with that, I will turn it over to Cameron for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Clark. I'd like to thank the board for choosing Patillo, Brown, and Hill as your auditors again this year. Thank you to the finance team for answering our million of questions and asking for even more documents to look at. But for this year, there was some changes in the financial statements that are being presented. It's the fiscal year changed from August 31st, with 2024 is now June 30 of 2025. So that's 10 months that we're auditing. And that came with some changes this year. Normally, TEA requires audits to be approved by the board and submitted to TEA for June 30 clients submitted in November. But for this year, TEA extended those deadlines for all school districts across the state for two reasons. They're implementing Audit 2.0 this year. It was not up and running. Also, the federal government puts out what they call uniform guidance when we have to test federal programs. And normally that guidance that they give auditors is approved during the summer. But for this year, it's historically late that they didn't approve that. So they said, well, here's a draft, but you can't sign any audit reports. So TEA took that into account as well. So all deadlines got shifted to February this year. So we're still on time, but next year I should be here in November. But just to jump in, you should have your the financial statements in front of you in case you wanted to follow through with that, as well as a communication letter that we're required to just things we're supposed to communicate. We either do it verbally or written form. We just feel that it's easier in written form, but it's boilerplate stuff. So we are required to maintain our independence, and as part of our objective is to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free of material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinions. And on page 2, independent auditor's report, the second paragraph says, in our opinion, the accompanying financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the governmental activities, each major fund and aggregate remaining fund information for the district as of June 30, 2025. So that's a clean opinion. We didn't qualify it in any way. So that's the best opinion, the highest level of assurance that we can provide that users of the financial statements can rely on them. So great job to finance in the district on that. The other things that we are required to do as part of our audit process, we go through audit areas that would affect financial statements, cash. Most items we actually confirm directly with TEA or what the federal government puts out. We confirm bank balances, cash balances, but we're also required to look at internal controls and procedures that the district has and develop tested controls. That way it brings down risk for us as auditors and to see if we can rely on those controls that are in place. And we are also required, if we find any material weaknesses or internal control deficiencies, we're required to report those. There's a separate letter in the back, but there are no issues that we found this year. So congratulations on that as well. Part of those is we're testing payroll processes, cash disbursements, procurement, grant guidelines, stuff like that. So if we found anything, I would be telling you today, but you would probably already know by now if there was such thing. So the touching on the uniform guidance on page 79 and 80 of the report, there's a schedule of expenditures of federal awards. And so this year the district spent 8.7 million in federal awards. And on the next page, well, that's for the 10 months. On page 82, there's actually a breakdown of the summary of our auditor's results. And it shows over the financial statements, we're given an unmodified opinion. There's no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies. And then over federal awards, it's essentially a separate audit that we tested IDEA B cluster and child nutrition cluster. And so if we found any discrepancies or errors going on with those specific programs, those would be reported as well, but we did not find any material weaknesses or internal control deficiencies over those programs as well. So congratulations again. One other thing I'd like to touch on is just kind of your general fund. We know y'all making budget amendments throughout the year. Those are monitored pretty heavily. And I just wanted to touch on the financial statements for the general fund. The income statement is on page 18. And it shows, so ending fund balance at the bottom of page 18 for the general fund went up $5.5 million. Part of that reason is for state foundation revenue, that kind of thing. They give the district upfront and they base that off of 12 months. So that money was received and earned for the year, but you only had 10 months of expenditures for this year instead of 12. So fund balance did go up, but part of that was just for the change in the fiscal year end. But still a really healthy fund balance is 30. Normally we compare, there's an unassigned fund balance on the page just before it, because it breaks down. So on page 15, it breaks down what parts of fund balance, prepaid inventory items are not, that are non-spendable. Some of it's restricted or assigned for next year's budget. Some of that fund balance is expected to be spent down. So we're breaking those out there. But the unassigned fund balance at year end is 36 million. And normally, but we do and TEA will do, they'll compare that unassigned number to the total expenditures for the year in the general fund, which is 58 million this year, and just kind of see if you aren't bringing any revenue going forward, how long is that equity going to last you? And so generally, the rule of thumb is 2 to 3 months, but y'all are sitting at, about a half a year of equity remaining. So that's a very healthy fund balance to have. So congratulations on that as well. But just a caveat, there is 10 months of expenditures instead of 12 this year. So that's all I've got today. But if y'all had any questions for me, I can help ask, or Clark could help as well. You could feel free to reach out to us at any time. So there's a board certificate, what do you call it? The 2 letters to submit, yeah. So if y'all approve that, 1 copy is for y'all to keep for your records. The other would go home with me, and we'll scan in all the documents to upload to TEA whenever TEA is ready to receive those documents.
Any questions from the board members concerning audit? Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Hey, do we want to sign now, or you could scan them and send them to me tomorrow? Watch it now. Either way, I just know we got.
Okay, we'll need a motion to approve that audit.
I make a motion to approve the audit that was submitted.
Motion by Mr. Miles, second by Mrs. Reese. Any questions? All in favor of said motion, please raise your hand. Opposers? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, all right. It is 8:23 p.m. and the board will recess into closed session and reconvene as allowed under section 551.071 through 551.084 of the Texas Government Code to discuss superintendent's appraisal evaluation, Texas Government Code 551.074, and to discuss personnel matters, Texas Government Code 551.074. Should any final action, final decision, or final vote be required in the opinion of the school board with regard to any matters considered in such closed executive session or meeting, Then the final action, final decision of vote shall be either an open meeting covered by the notice upon reconvening of the public meeting or at a subsequent public meeting of the school board upon notice thereof as the school board. It is 9:07 PM. The board will reconvene into open meeting at this time. During the closed session, only the items that appeared on the agenda were discussed. No final action, no final decision or vote was taken during the closed meeting. This time, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Reese, second by Mr. Moss. Questions? All in favor said yes. Yes. It is 9:08 PM and we are adjourned.